Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nightwolf53 back here again with another What If. Now, I guess I can go ahead and try to explain some stuff. So, Deku, yes, he's left down in the bottom of the ocean right now. His two ships, how they are floating, they were on a dry dock and ready for launch whenever they would release Deku. But because they were sealed down to a wooden dock, the dock would rotted before the ships would actually. No, technically the wood would already be rotting. So whenever the sea level rose up higher, the dock broke off, but still stayed in that one stance because it was still connected to the bottom of the sea floor, to the bottom of wherever it was connected to. Because they knew one day it would break, but they didn't know how it would break. So they connected a long chain up to it, so then it would, of course, still be connected to where they were building it. So that's where the two ships are being held. Deku, yes, still being locked in his chamber, being one day released. Alright. Due to you guys changing how I was going to do the story, this is going to be setting in a lot more tone that I was thinking while going to a little vacation spot I was going to in Galveston. So note that this is going to be a bit darker, but still a somewhat heroic story ish. Now, the ships that have changed are that I've taken out from 8 ships to only 4. So some have been cut. The ones that have been cut were Enterprise, Hornet, Pennsylvania, Isu, and Bismarck. Now, I feel like I forgot one. I think that's all, because, yeah, I added in 2 more. I already had 2 ships that were filling a role. Did I forget something? I feel like I forgot one, but yeah, that other one was taken as well. I'm not going to say what the other 2 ships are. Well, actually, but yeah, the other 2 ships will be, they will be in the containers right next to Deku. So yeah, when I explain their names and I'm going to explain their story. So, enough of my babbling around and stuff like that. Let's get into the what if. This is what if Deku was an Azur Lane. We start off actually at home base of Azur Lane. As Cleveland and Wales are walking down, they see a new batch of Royal Navy coming in. Look at that, Wales. Let's catch up and meet up with some of Royal Navy's carriers. Do you always have to be that urgent? We're not in a rush. Well, it's better to meet them quicker, sooner than later. Come on. As Wales looks off into the blue sea of the base as they go and meet with I don't know how to say her name. The one that looks like it's an old type gown. I want to say Lusitanius almost because it's British, but I don't know how to say it. But she's also escorted with Unicorn, a light carrier. As Cleveland and Wales meet up with the 2 carriers in the off distance, a traitor is among us. Traitor is among them. Name Amagi. Or Nami. I forgot. I think it's Nami. Yeah, Nami. Yeah, Nami. She is spying out on the base for the attack from Kaga and Akagi. As they are all in their base doing their own things as test chamber 58321 58326 awakens, aka Deku's chamber. Next to him are 2 ships that were put into containment due to secrecy from the sirens. Project Texas it's Project Texas and Project Yamato. And yes, those are two the girls right next to him. I guess I can give both their backstories. I'll start with Texas. Her backstory starts from actually the beginning of the war. Because of the newer ships coming in, they started to run out of ships that were on the battlefield. But due to this, they had to add in some older ships from the older ages. Texas being one of the first to come in. I guess I can go ahead and put her up. Sorry that it's sideways, but yeah, this is what Texas looks like. She's an Eagle Union old battleship. Now, you might say that because she's an older ship, she might be a bit more less developed than these newer ships. Not so. She's actually a lot better than the newer ships like North Carolina and Massachusetts. Not because of her guns are a lot. Her guns are, even though just a smidge smaller. No, they're actually. No, I think they're actually just a little bit bigger because she was a dreadnought, a super dreadnought, and that fact. And because of this, her experience and actually how she did on. If you guys don't know D-Day, during D-Day, Texas's shells were the only shells that actually hit the beach because they literally flooded one of her compartments to tilt her and shoot onto the beach, which that's knowledge. So she's great at. Her aim's amazing. Her smarts are great, and she has decent AA, and she is one of the ships that actually holds a double-barrel shotgun, it seems. And the other ship right next to her is Project Yamato from the Japanese, Sakura. Being one of the more secretive ships than Texas, even though she lacks in a bit of experience, she has the most powerful guns of any ship, even out there. She is capable of firing over 40, I want to say 50 kilometers. I don't know how long that is. I just know that people use kilometers. So 50 kilometers, which is a very long range. With that, her guns can easily outdo any ship they go against. But because of that, the sirens would have collected more information on her only if she was only sent out 5 main times. And those 5 main times were battles that were won. She was usually either paired up with Eagle Union's Yorktown, Texas. Actually, they have met once though, and there was no conversation. They have only met once. No, I'm gonna say they met twice during 2 battles. And then she has also met up with one of her carrier groups, being Akagi and Kaga, in another battle with the Sirens, but she was put away after the last battle, after the 5th battle. Same thing with Texas being her 10th battle, where it would have ended with where Yamato where they would both end at the exact same time, being put into storage with 2 container tubes, keeping them safe. With both their battleships being held up in dock with many more, with Deku in store. So that's their backstories. Now we move on to Deku's containment. As Deku's containment cracks and breaks, as the ship known as Deku awakens. As he opens up his eyes, a pad that was given to... Oh, give me a sec. Yeah, as the pad that that the all the God damn it, that there was a pad that was given to all the nations, complaining on what ships were activated and what ships were deactivated, and which ones were getting repaired. Most of them were activated except one ship. There was on Eagle Union there was two things missing. On Sakura there were two as well. But on Royal Navy and on Ironblood there was one missing. They did not know what this ship was. Unbeknownst to them, it was called the Unnamed Ship. They didn't think it would ever activate. There was nothing known about the ship. So far, from what they've known from the commander that died about 150 years ago, that this ship was made to destroy the Sirens once and for all. It was made in mind to take the best aspect of the ships that were during World War II, as they didn't know what ships were used. As almost the battle would come between Eagle Union and Royal Navy versus Sakura Empire in their ships, being Akagi and Kaga with siren technology. As before the attack, a siren would go off at Sakura Empire, at Ironblood, at Royal Navy, and at Eagle Union base. They would be asking what's going on? What's going on? Why is the siren going off? As on the screens of TVs in there, it would show all activated ships. As at the very bottom of each commanding active, at the bottom of the screen, something would turn green as the unknown ship would be turned on, as they didn't know what was going on, as the sirens would go off. Wales, Hood, and some other ships that were in there as leaders would try to figure out what's going on, as Sakura Empire and Ironblood would be trying to figure out what's going on as well. Deku swims up to the surface as he coughs on the wooden deck as he looks around at the city that was destroyed and now flooded. He looks next to him. There's Kurfürst on his right and FDR on his left, being Franklin D. Roosevelt. It's like, what happened? His flashbacks hit him in his mind. The sirens. My home. What happened? As a data drive that was planted into him over 100 years ago of what recorded what happened. It seems we won, but humans have been lost to time. Well, I better get information from what I can. As Deku would get alerted that two more ships on his radar were near him, as he would look at his radar and see that the two ships were still down there where he was before. He would go ahead and dive as well down there, trying to find where he could go, as he met with his own testing tube. Next to him on his right, Texas, left, Yamato. He would break open the two containment chambers, as water would fill in and testing water would get out. he would grab the two girls and bring them up onto the wooden deck and let them dry off and get their consciousness back on. Deku start thinking of what he can do. So far, the only thing he has gotten from his family were some fishing, so that's the best he could do. He used some of the wooden planks on the harbor to build a fire as he fished, catching a few fish here and there, some tuna, and some others. The first one to awaken, Battleship Texas. What are we? I don't know where I am anymore. I sound British. Oh my god. I can't say yeehaw buckaroo. I actually have to sound normal. Okay. Where am I? What happened? Deku sees. Seems you're awake. May I ask for your name? The name's Texas. Yours? My name's Deku. Deku, huh? Nice to meet you. So that must mean your ship. What's your ship name? What's your ship? Well, it's these two, it seems. Says what? As he points at the battleship and cruiser. Not battleship and cruiser, battleship and carrier. My bad. Says, huh. So, I guess they're both called Deku then? No. The one on my left is called Kerfos. No, the one on my left is called FDR, or Franklin D. Roosevelt. As the one on my right is called Kerfos. Huh. So why is your name Deku? I think it's because it mixes the D with the K for DK, but adds an E and U in there to make a real sounding name. So Deku. I could see how that could work. Because Kerr versus K, and the D is for Franklin D. Roosevelt, or whatever his middle name was, or last, I don't know. As she would like, so, how long has I been out? Almost 300 years now. You were put into containment over 300. I was in there for a lot longer, though. So you were? Well, it seems to have been out of action. As she looks over. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. As Yamato wakes up. Huh? Where am I? Sirens, where are they? Calm down. Calm down. May you state your name? Yamato. Yamato. That's where she's from. Huh? Yamato, correct? Yeah? Remember me? Texas. Oh, Texas! You were in the battle against observers, two observers and a couple of battleship sirens. Yeah. As they kept on talking about their fight, as Deku interrupted. Hey, we have problems here. What is it? Do you know how to get off of this island? Well, yeah, with our ships. Wait, where are they? As Deku looks over, so I'm guessing those are your two ships then. As I look over, seeing Texas and Yamato still being in a good looking condition a bit, but not perfect. Just, seems time has taken on our old ships. Not everything can be saved. Thank God they were dry docked first. Yeah, thank God for that, but how do we move out? Well, you kind of just take your ship and ride off. Why? Well, I still need training of mine. Have you never used your ships? No, I have not. Wait, he has two ships? Yeah. Yeah, Yamato, it seems he can use both ships, but he doesn't know how to wield them. Huh. Why don't you call the battleship one out first? State its name and call it out in your own type of way. What do you mean? Here, I'll do mine. Come to me. Samurai. I guess come to me, Yamato, as her ship would turn to blue cubes and come to her, as her guns would, of course, come around her as so, with her tails in behind her. Says, huh? I says, here, let me go for it. From the west, Texas. As Texas would come up and get onto her, as they would be standing with their original state, saying, "Damn, I missed this form. I really, that was a very painful, long years I've been out, but being back in action is good enough for me. Why don't you call yours?" Sure. Come to me, first, as nothing would kind of happen. Try something different, like come to me, something first. Come to me. I guess so. I can't really think of something. I guess come to me. Yeah, come to me, night. Not really night of first. Yeah, night of first. Not night as in like servery, but night as darkness. As the battleship would turn go into Deku. As four turrets would be on each side, as two turrets would be put on each side of him. As he would be given a type of German hat at the time. As he would be astounded on the new ship, on his ship form. Say, wow, so what do I do about the other one? Well, oh, well, I don't know. I'm guessing you can't combine them because of the two different classes. How about you take off Kurfa, your ship, and put on your other one? Okay. As Deku would take off Kurfa, saying deactivate or whatever. As he would call in, try to think of something to do with Franklin D. Roosevelt. Come on to me, Leader Roosevelt, as the ship would materialize as that ship, as Roosevelt would go on to him, as he would be given I'm going to say, two bows. I'm going to say he's been given a bow. I kind of want to say like a gun. Yeah, he's been given a gun. Not any gun, though. He has been given I don't know what to really give him. Because each time I try to think of something, I think that's not right. That's not American. But when I think about it, it's either something that I want to give him a longbow, something like Enterprise, but instead of sending out only one shot at a time, where it can then do whatever it wants, he can send out a 3-shot. Basically, there are 3 holes where he can shoot out very close to the first hole in the middle. But they are in a triangle shape, so he can pull back and shoot in a type of triangle. And they would spread out like Enterprises, but a lot more area. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm kind of thinking of Roosevelt. As his carrier deck would also be on there. As he would look at it and say, wow, this is cool. So, do you know where we are? Well, it seems we were at that science lab that I was at, and where you guys were contained as well. Huh. Well, do you know where the other ships are and other people are? Not really. Well, let's go try to find them. Okay. Yamamoto, Texas. Let's go. As Deku would jump on to Kara first, and both ladies would get on as well as they would head out. As that's kind of where I end it right now, because it seems like a fitting end. Because what I'm thinking is that I'm leaving them on a note to where the ladies have gotten on and they're setting sail to find them, setting sail to find someone. But yeah, that's kind of how I want to think of it. When it's gonna get dark, I guess I can give you a sneak peek of one of the ships. Yes. As you saw, that is a siren. So, how do you think this is going to play out? But yeah. Hit that like button if you liked it, hit that dislike button if you didn't like it, and hit that subscribe button if you want more. Comment what you think and whatever else you want to do. Also, next What If, it's either going to be Jurassic World, my other one, or something different. But still, bye.